In the 1800s, when the Christian missionaries arrived in what is now Nigeria, Badagry first received them. The missionaries brought with them Christianity, Western education, and new forms of social development. And so, the coastal community became known as a town of firsts. It was from here the missionaries celebrated Nigeria's first Christmas, built the first formal Western school, and completed the country's first story building in 1845. The structures left behind still stand as the earliest signs of development for Badagry. But for some communities separated by the sea, that progress never made it by boat to them. Across the waters are dozens of isolated riverine communities. To reach Dadilui, passengers board a boat at Iworo Jetty for 500 naira. Here, even underage children ferry passengers across the waterways. A sign at the jetty advises passengers to ask for a life jacket before boarding. Yet, as is common for many commuters, we start our journey without one. It takes about 10 minutes to get to the community. Residents of Dadilui trace the origin of the community to a Portuguese lawyer named Louis, who, according to local accounts, was granted the land by the traditional ruler of the time.
That's why he occupied all this place. That is Louis. Daddy Louis is the header, the oldest man. That's why Daddy Louis. Louis. Supposed to be Louis. In Yoruba call him Louis.
Daddy Louis is a close-knit community. Everyone here knows everyone. They have to. They depend on one another for support. Help from outside is a boat ride too far. The only school in the community, Azuma International School, closed its doors to children living within the community. The school had been run by 3 teachers, but the daily 3,000 naira cost of transportation to the community forced the teachers to close down the school.
Ìkan tó wá gba ibi tó ní òun máa kọ́ àwọn ọmọ nílé gbogbo kálukú àwọn ọmọlé àwọn jẹ́lé òsinmi gbogbo onígbẹ́ gbogbo wọn kó wọn síbẹ̀ oníkálukú inú ẹ̀ ń dùn pé àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké wọ́n lọ léèwé ìgbà tó yá tíṣà ní owó ọkọ̀ ti pọ̀ jù wọ́n lè máa san owó yẹn bá tún ní kí àwọn òbí kan sanwó á ní ìwé wo làwọn ọmọ ń kà ó dá tíṣà tó ń bọ̀ láti Ìwóró lọ́hùn-ún ó kó tíṣà mẹ́ta wá àwọn san àwọn èèyàn kankan 500 náà lọ 500 bóyá àwọn tíṣà mẹ́ta wọ́n máa san 3,000 léèdè ìyẹn ló sọ pé òun ò ṣe léèwé mẹ́rin tó bá nídìí láti kọ́ ọmọ wá sí ìsọdá lọ́hùn kó máa kó wá.
You know the danger of carrying all these young, small kids to be crossing water. At times, by the time they enter the boat, all these apapa, all those what is called speed boat, they will just go and they won't slow down. They just go. We just beg God and pray that everything.
How much do they pay to go?
It depends on every parent. You have to understand me, because by the time we calculate feeding and we what is it called, to and fro or canoe, at times we spend more than 1,000, maybe 1,500 or so.
In spite of Badagry boasting of many firsts, stories of loss and pain abound, owing to an almost absence of government presence, as the members of the community lament the lack of basic infrastructure.
Ìwọ tó bá síkì tó bá tètè múra kí fámìlì ẹ lọ́pọ̀ dúdú àbí kò tètè pèèyàn ó di gòbé nìyẹn. Ìwọ tí inú ọmọ ń ṣiyẹ́ tí ó tètè jẹ́ ojú woro kò tètè bẹ́sẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ sókè odò tó bá lágbára àti ibi fún ẹ báyẹ̀ tún lágbára míì wọn náà nọ̀ṣọ́ operation àbọ̀dẹ̀ ń bẹ lọ́hùn kọ́ lọ́hùn má jẹ́ àrí má jẹ́ agbógun àsáré pè lóòru sọ́kadà sí mọ́tò àfiwọ́ tó bá lọ́kọ̀ ẹ̀ special tó bá lọ gbìyànjú kan ní see by this time àwọn ò lọ síbi kan dà kí la fẹ́ ṣe.
If you get any problem here, it's either you run to the other houses to give you a boat or whatever to cross to the other side. Sometimes when you are going on the way, you lose the very person. It happened to my own dad. He was getting sick and they want to cross him over to the other town. Before then we get boat and cross, was giving up at the road.
Tí bá rìn iṣan ìdí a máa fà tí ìdí iṣan yẹn ṣáà máa gbóhùn tí bá rìn lọ pé kí iṣan kó máa ṣe ká kẹ ní ò kọ bí ara sí. Àwọn gbà ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí dìjí ẹsẹ̀ yẹn ṣáà ń wọ́rìn mi ṣá. Ìgbà yẹn mo wá ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní lọ sí general complain. Wọ́n ṣáà ṣe lọ ṣe bọ̀. Wọ́n ní wàhálà tó lù ẹ́ ti ṣe láti ìgbà kan. Ọmọ bíbí òun ló bóyá kẹsẹ̀ síbẹ̀ bóyá aṣáṣe ìgbà tó yá nípa sùn bá ní ìtì ẹ̀ wá lọ sí èdè kan mọ́. Ìgbà tí mo ti para general yẹn tó ti sú mi àìmọye ṣáà ń pe àwọn dókítà tó wá ń ṣe kíní pólú ẹ̀ nílé. Ìgbà tí mo ti àti ná ti sú mi àti ra tábìlẹ̀tì àìmọye tábìlẹ̀tì gbogbo aláà tílẹ̀ síbẹ̀ kò sí ìtógbẹ̀yìn inú gbogbo ìtọ́jú ẹ̀ ò sì ṣe kíní báyà agbẹjẹ o mo ń ra oògùn mi pé tí bàbá lọ ra oògùn mi à ń ra oògùn bíi 40-50 mi ò ra oògùn yẹn bíi 30-20 ló kéré jù.
It was not always like this. About 10 years ago, the government built a hospital at the edge of the community, and medical care was just a walk away. Now, it's a trip across the waters.
Hospital ni ẹ bá débẹ̀ sìn gbogbo ẹ ti já kò sí nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ ajá gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹran gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ màálùú gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ abilà gbé bẹ́ẹ̀ àrí kò sí nọ́ọ̀sì kò sí nǹkan kan.
Mo ti lọ sí hospital nísìnyí bíi last year mo ti lọ sí hospital gbẹ̀yìn nígbà tí ṣé ń wò mí àti ìrìn yìí náà ni kí tó sọ pé mo rìn láti gbàtẹ́ tó pé tí ó bá ṣe pé olú ẹ̀ rí mọ́tò ń sìn pé bólú ẹ̀ bá ti lọ sí irú èyí tí ń sábà rí ọkọ̀ tó máa gbé lọ sọ́dà mi lè sọ pé mo lè gun ọ̀kadà báyìí ní àfi tí bá rí mọ́tò tó lè máa gbéyàn lọ ká máa gbéyàn bọ̀ tó lè máa fi bọ̀ wá sílé ohun tó fà á nìyẹn tó fi stop ẹ̀ o.
The journey from Daddy Louis to Orocheti takes about 10 minutes. From there, it takes another 30-minute drive to Badagry General Hospital. In all, residents spend about 40 minutes just to reach the hospital, a facility understaffed and overstretched.
The reality is that Badagry General Hospital is serving a large population. In fact, from my 2 down to this place, this is the only general hospital available. People travel long distances from places like Okafor, Muo, Aradagu, and the villages in the hinterland. They travel for long hours to get to this place. Our general outpatient clinic is overwhelming. We are not really able to cope easily. So there will be need to have other clinics nearer to them in their places to attend to them.
Sometimes ago, I have to engage the Commissioner for Health that this is what is happening in my area. So what the Commissioner put in place is coastal line, a mobile boat clinic that will be taking care of those people. So at a point, they are short of budget. So because it wasn't included in the budget, so what we have to do is just to go back and get money for them to start not only that community, all the coastal communities along the shore is what we are taking care of that. Okay, adequate healthcare service should be given to them. And don't forget, this area are the area of tourism because our beaches are on that axis. So we have no choice rather than to make sure that they have adequate care. This thing is happening as a matter of urgency. The money has been provided for the ministry just to kickstart all what they have to do on that axis.
Like most of the riverine communities, Daddy Louis is blessed with a large expanse of land. and its access to the sea makes it a prime location for farming, or so it was.
You can see my engine there, and my farmland is under the other far coconut tree. In a normal circumstance, I'm supposed to dig my well, borehole, near close to my farmland, because of the bad water that we have. It was initially, formerly it wasn't like this. Immediately those Atlantic Shrimpers Company, they came here. So they do fish and crayfish farming. So they need to, according to the information, they bring water from that ocean water. It is that ocean water that they use in their, what is it called, fish pond, for their own farming. So we understand that in that process, in the process of bringing something, the water now penetrates, go inside the soil and start spoiling the water. So even formerly, there are some people that dig their, what is it called, well over there. Okay. When everybody discovered that the water is coming from there, spoiling, we are now it is now forcing us to be coming over here. You can see some people, nobody is, even that guy, one guy did his own sometime 3-4 months ago. He had to remove this thing and run down there. You understand? But we don't know. In the next few years, we don't know. Maybe all the waters, because even this one, if you put it in it is feels salty.
Every afternoon around 3 p.m., boats return to Daddy Louis, carrying the children home from schools. Just as we left without life jackets, the children travel each day without their life jackets, and sometimes in overcrowded boats.
A máa ń gbé àwọn ọmọ dàdé ẹ̀wọ̀n, ìgbà míì a máa ń help wọn, ìgbà míì a máa ń gba ọ̀rẹ́ náà lọ́wọ́ wọn. Owó tá à ń gbà náà ò pé wọn, ṣùgbọ́n a kàn fi ń help wọn ni wá sí bíbá láti dàdé wá sí ìgboro. Some boats they get jackets, some boats they don't get jackets. The jacket I get, you know, go reach the students wey dey inside boats because the students too plenty.
The waterways that once carried missionaries, Christianity, and development into Badagry now carry residents in search of healthcare, education, and survival. For the people of Daddy Louis, the question is no longer whether development reached Badagry, but why it never crossed the waters to them. Their hopes now lie within whatever community efforts they can muster among themselves just to keep their lives on this historic island alive. In Lagos for News Central, Francis Esenwa.
So you've seen the reality for yourself. A community cut off from healthcare, children forced into dangerous daily journeys for education, and residents asking why, despite being so close to one of Nigeria's most historic towns, they have been left behind. When we return, we'll be joined by News Central correspondent who traveled to Daddy Louis community to bring us this powerful report. We'll go behind the story and discuss what wasn't captured on camera and ask what happens next. Stay with us.
Thank you for staying with us. Welcome back. You have just watched our special report, Living in Isolation, Badagry Riverine community cut off from healthcare education. It paints a sobering picture of life in Daddy Louis community, where something as basic as seeing a doctor or getting a child to school requires crossing open water, often without the most basic safety measures, was known as the gateway through which education and development entered Nigeria. Parts of Badagry today remained disconnected from many of those same opportunities. To help us understand what we witnessed firsthand and what it says about governance, infrastructure, and the lives of riverine communities, we're joined by News Central's investigative reporter, Francis Esenwa. Francis. So welcome. Thank you for having me. Francis.
Well done.
Thank you.
Francis, well done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us at the table. Now, this report, you spent time at Daddy Louis community.
Say it well.
Daddy Louis.
Daddy Louis.
Sorry, Daddy Louis. You spent time at Daddy Louis community. You spoke with the residents and you documented their daily lives. So What stood out for you when you first got there, and perhaps what reality most surprised you?
Okay, thank you so much. So basically, when you do community reporting for stories like that, you tend to, when you're traveling, people want to speak with you.
Yeah.
So you see people in their large numbers coming out to greet you, but it was different here. We saw pockets of people, very, very little people. If you go through the package, you won't see a lot of crowd shots. You just see people, pockets there, sitting in front of their homes and all that. So it's because people are leaving the community. Yeah, so I already had a picture of a large expanse of land with people gathering in front, people building homes, people and every other thing. But you don't see that. You just see 5, you see 2, you see 3, you see 1 here. People are leaving. In fact, the person that brought us, our contact person, they also accused him of abandoning them. And he stays just in Badagry. He has not been home for a while.
So when home is Daddy Louis?
Home is Daddy Louis for him. He moved to Badagry town. So when you come into Badagry town, it's basically the same as Lagos. People are pushing you, people are the Okadas and all that. But when you cross to the other side, it's a different reality. People seem so detached from the Lagos life, from the Lagos development that they say. They are in their own. They are fending for themselves. They are fighting their battles themselves. And you have just 7 minutes away. It's Badagry town. And the contrast is too alarming. Yeah. That's why I started off with the missionaries coming with development, education, and for some reason it just stopped at the shore. It's never crossed the waters to them.
You know, one of the most concerning parts about this was seeing the kids get onto these small canoes and boats, no life jackets in the morning, taking their futures in their hands and then repeating it again at 3 p.m. And that's even for the families that can afford to even send their kids to school in Badagry. And this is just to access education. So beyond what we saw on camera, how worried are the residents about the risk that they face every single day, especially those who are moving up and down across the bodies of water?
I think you can get used to a particular problem that becomes daily life. While we were filming, we saw a child swimming. He was going deep, and I was like, in the open water. Like,
so most of them will probably learn how to swim before they even walk.
Yeah, so they know.
Their community.
So he was swimming, and he was going. I was even scared.
Where was he going?
He was just swimming. He was just having a good time, and I was like, please, can they bring him back to the shore? And he was just going deep. So it's like you said, they learn how to swim. They probably learn how to swim before they even walk. Yeah. So it's expected of them to live it that way. So it's a concern, yes, but like I said, the concern is now their daily life. So to you, it's a concern. To them, it's just life. It's just life. It's just, what else can we? You've beaten them to a point that they ask, what else can we get from this? There's nothing. So we can just make do with our small shop here, the little primary 1 to primary 6 here. Maybe you go to GS3. Okay, good. All the best. I'll come back and farm. So that's why you see the boy and his dad. They are farming. Those that cannot go to school, they farm. They join. So it's just just come to the factory line, follow what everybody else has done.
All right, so the community once had a hospital and a school, yet today residents travel across the water for medical care, and children are forced to leave the community to learn. And, the interview you had with the lady that said she has spent so much on medication, really broke my heart, and she's tired of spending, she's just managing. So why did those services disappear instead of, improving?
Yeah, so before we get to that, so the woman that had the leg issue, beside her son, he is almost blind. We didn't even know that. So we were interviewing her. So he walks into the shot, and we were behind, we were waving, oh, could you leave? So someone taps us and says, he can't see. He can't see. So you have an old woman who can't walk and a son who can't see in the same house. And you have just the two of them. Yeah. When we even got, the woman was even walking to cook something, maybe yam or rice, I can't even remember. He was walking to cook, and the son was just sitting down. We tried to intervene, but he didn't want to appear on camera. So you now have the hospital, and from where the woman stays for the hospital is just a short journey. So this started when they told us it was a windy night, and the roofs got lifted. Now you would think, oh, it's a small issue, let's quickly fix it. It started deteriorating. Leaky roofs, walls started cracking. Little by little, the community, the hospital started crumbling, and now that's where it is. Now, what would have taken how much to fix the roofs? The hospital has crumbled. Now you have to take boat ride to Badagry General Hospital. The hospital doctors are even saying that from my 2 down there, they service the whole land, the whole zones, those communities around on the same track. So you have doctors there that can't even handle the workload. So what else can they do but just to stay back and pray one day everything gets better?
Wow. You know, many people hear the word Riverine and they assume that these communities, you know, are simply too remote to reach. They are inaccessible. But your report shows that Adilui is only about a 10-minute boat ride from the mainland. Does that not make the neglect, you know, even harder to justify? It's not like they are in the bush or somewhere inaccessible. Just as simple, it's just like going from Aja to Ikorodu.
Yeah. So that's what I thought. So when I got there, I asked the boat operator, the one you saw me interview, I asked him, how many minutes, how long does it take us? He said 1 hour. Where are we going to? Where are we going to? That's 1 hour. And I was like, okay, so I already wired my mind out because one is going to take a journey, it's going to take a while. Then he must have misunderstood my question. It just took 7 minutes, and I was shocked that we were already there. 7 minutes. So in 7 minutes, I have gotten to the community. In 7 minutes, the government can also get to the community.
I love
in
that.
7 minutes, they can also come and build the hospital in the community. In 7 minutes, they can build a school in the community. But of course, it's in the hinterland. Nobody would see it.
They obviously have a representative.
Yeah, they have a representative.
They have a chairman.
They have a chairman.
They fall under a local government. They fall under, even the island communities fall under local governments.
So because this ties directly
They know how to campaign,
into the next question.
Oh, they do. They said they find their way. They find their way to them.
To campaign.
They find their way to them.
And the ballot boxes find their way to them.
They find their way to them.
So, but what are they saying? Are they not saying anything? Okay, you've spoken to some of the leaders there, the heads of clans, you know, local leaders, residents, and all of that. What is the sense? What sense are you getting from there? I hear when you say, you know, they resigned to their problem becoming the norm, becoming their everyday life. But there has to be a sense of awareness from government of these challenges. What are they saying? Are there even timelines or to address these things?
The lawmaker we spoke to, the one representing them in the Lagos State of House of Assembly, said they had mobile boats, they had mobile hospitals where people would get treatment, but budget issues. So they didn't have funding anymore. Then it stopped. Now we interviewed him, said it's a matter, as he said, it's a matter of urgency.
Yeah.
As when that will be, we don't know. But he says it's a matter of urgency. But what we are seeing, like as what you're seeing on your screen, those are just woods. You can't see anything. In fact, yes, the woman said goats are there, rats are there,
and cattle.
Snakes are also there. One nearly beat us, by the way. Snakes are also there. We had to jump. My cameraman can jump. I can tell you that. we had to jump. And before that's okay, the coast is clear. Then we came back. So you have all that the state governments or the lawmakers saying, we see you, we hear, but people have, we've been seeing us. We want you to now see us and do something about it.
But do you honestly think
I hear all those we see us.
Do you honestly think that they really don't care? The government doesn't really, it's not priority for the government.
I don't think it's priority. If it's a priority, it would have been done. It would have been done. It would have been done.
Or it'd be in the process of
it would have been in the process of doing.
See visible progress.
The hospital didn't stop working last year. 2 years, 3, 6.
Exactly. So it didn't crumble overnight.
So it takes a while for a building to crumble to that extent.
Yeah.
So they must have been aware of the little damages before it got there. Now you're saying it's a matter of urgency. It should have been a matter of urgency when the roofs
you speak all the English you want, matter of urgency, but what's the timeline? What plans are now? You're quoting budget issues, or when it's time to canvass for votes, budget issues not good.
It's not too far away. They know how to cross the waters there.
It's not too far away.
No, I want to go back to something you said about the people leaving, and I don't know if you asked or if there's any conversation. You said you were saying pockets of people. If they could hazard a guess as to how many people have left, is it the old and it's obviously not the old, it's mainly the young that have left to seek brighter opportunities or whatever opportunities it may be. How does that affect them? Because this is while they're Riverine, it's a farming community. So how is that affecting them in terms of what their core livelihood is? Yes.
It's affecting them. Now you have in the clip, you see an old woman weeding her farm, which she shouldn't be doing at that age, maybe. She should have some sort of assistance. So now you see the volume of produce that they should be harvesting over time has reduced. Now that affects us. We think everything out happens out doesn't affect us here. So that means that means we have low supply from farming community like that, and we have high demand here in town, then prices go up. So it's the little things that now become big, that snowballs into bigger issues. Now, so when we now have that, we now say, oh, so what is going on? But it's a community just 7 minutes away by boats that does not have a young man to farm, that has left his community to look for something elsewhere.
And how many other communities are like this across?
Oh, they are. So my contact person was even ready to take us to different communities there. So you have repeated tales across different communities. The same thing. We feel neglected. And it's funny thing. It's just a boat ride. I still can't wrap my mind around that. It's just a boat ride away.
I'm just wondering, because you said like it's an island community, and you know people like elite spaces like that. You'd be surprised that maybe somebody's focus has not really looked at the community, and you would just be surprised that they'll start to landfill and maybe increase the expanse of land and turn it into a real estate gem that people will be paying premium for.
If the government wants to build an elephant project or a big project, they know how to find that community. They know how to find that community. Probably if they want to build something that along that waterway, they probably clear them and build that project.
And they'll tell you that they're resettling them and they're moving.
And that's what I'm saying. It happen soon, especially after.
Because it's been a while since I've seen such clear waters in Lagos.
After this document,
and you're not seeing so much trash on the sea. You know, because if you go to the beaches in Lagos here, as you see the water, you see the trash, and so this is one of the, I think, more pristine beaches I've seen around Lagos. You almost want to feel like you don't want us to go there so that we keep the pristine. Look at the skyline.
That's the hospital.
The whole roof is gone. And
so I also wanted to make a point, because the farmer you spoke to, we made the point that he's very educated.
Very educated, yes.
And you said that Daddy Louis is his hometown, but he went to Badagry and then he came back. But he mentioned the business, the fish farming business, and the impact of the runoff on them as well. So they're not just battling, because also it looks like there's a lot of dryness happening. So there's a bit of climate change that's going to be impacting them. They're not just battling that in the distance. They're now battling probably a multi-billion naira business that is then also doing runoff.
It seems that the community is fighting a war on 3 fronts: healthcare, education, and, like I said, multi-billion-dollar business just parked its car in their backyard.
That is running fuel. That these communities exist, because situating a business in that place, you have to ask them, are they not using locals to run their community? Because it's a small community. These are the kind of things they should be advocating for. Because if they are importing their staff and everything, what is in it for the community? That means even the small fishing business they might be able to do. This large company would overrun it. They said they have a big crayfish company.
Oh, they gave them solar as big as my phone.
I don't get. They gave you solar.
They gave the community solar.
What is solar?
Community.
They gave the community.
What? Please. One panel is as big as your phone, or the entire solar?
For them to yes.
Wait. The entire solar they gave them is like this.
Yes.
What is it supposed to do?
To help them see at night.
For an entire community.
Oh, you're talking about that floodlight.
No, not the I mean the solar.
The
solar
pack.
panel. Yes.
One.
Yes, this is it.
So, see, when we say that, I wonder what our government is really doing.
No, that
you have a local government chairman that does not see the plight of his people. Now, I'm even looking at it from the point of the fact that a big company wants to come in. That is a big time to see development, infrastructure. You develop infrastructure for the people. That if you are coming to this community to do X, Y, Z, you must provide this, you must provide that, so that the lives of the people can be better.
Not everybody is wired for advancement. Some people just are okay with how they're living.
But it's government's role to advance you.
That's the thing. So if governments are there feeding fat and they're lazy on their seats and no one is challenging them or bringing them or holding them accountable, what do you expect from them? In their minds, you know what they see? They see an abandoned island, abandoned community where nothing is thriving. People are cuckoo moving to the city. Yeah. So maybe they're subconsciously expecting or hoping or praying that in the end, all of them would just advance to the city.
But to the city that is what? Is it
already
the same
congested?
Is it the same city we're struggling with waste? Is it the same city that some people have not seen water coming from the water board or water commission in how many years?
Is it not the same city that people are coming from different villages in Nigeria? This same Lagos. So nobody is really caring about whether there's enough waste, water. Every day, all the parks, go to the parks, you see people coming from Afipo, Bakaliki, I'm telling you, they're just coming into Lagos. The influx of human beings into the promised land. Exactly.
Whatever was sold to them a long time ago.
They don't understand it that, you know, they have the belief that when you come to Lagos, you will make it.
You'll make it.
Yeah.
Yes.
The streets are paved with gold. It reminds me when I was younger. We went to San Francisco. The bridge was Golden Gate Bridge. I swear to God, you know, not knowing something is not. My mom actually thought, because we're just new to the US, and that the bridge was made of gold. And so this idea that, you know, when you go to the US, greener pastures, streets are lined with gold, and everything's going to be there.
Come on now.
And I think one other point I want to make on this story is we often think of lack of development as a northern problem.
Yes.
We think of it as something far away from Lagos. This is our backyard. As Francis is saying, this is 7 minutes from Badagry. That is a lack of development there. And I think we need to, while we can shout about the totality of Nigeria, I think some of us need to really start looking at our backyards because a lot of our backyards are underdeveloped. A lot of them. We want to say everything or the worst of the statistics are in the north. Not necessarily. No. You know, I think what shocked us one time, the child marriage stat. Thank you. That was actually the one southeastern state.
Yes.
That was higher than the what we thought was going to be the north.
Yes. This is
we had that conversation last year.
This is what he's talking about. You know, everybody believes what was sold to them years ago. The north is not underdeveloped.
Of course.
It's very much developed, but they don't talk about it.
And it's a perception that we have here, thinking that some things are just, it's stapled on a certain tribe, a certain, you know, the certain area of Nigerians. Hey, see what Tolu said? You should
I remember that show.
Yes, it was, we were in shock at this table. We said, no, what is a state in the a region in the south, in the east, Sha? It's not, please, no vex, I'm not against you know, the Easterners, but you know, there it was a shocking statistic. So you can imagine when everyone is there thinking that, in the north, I can imagine if this is happening, I can imagine what's happening in the north. It's happening at your backyard.
Absolutely.
And the people need to know that they have power. You know, that's why I feel so sorry for this Daddy Louis community, because they're young population are the ones that are migrating out to be able to look for greener pastures, to be able to care for the people at home. But if they don't know that they have a voice, this report, I'm hoping some of these people will get to see it. You know, sometimes people are just forgetful because nobody is there that is prominent.
When your people are not
or just let maybe one influencer rise from there that can put a searchlight on his community and know that, okay, we are here, these people are viable. You will see that things will start to change. People need to know their power and use it effectively.
All right, Lolo. Well, we've actually said it all. I must say, beautiful documentary, Francis. Thank you so much.
We'll be seeing much more, Francis.
Yes, you know what is going on there. Thank you so much, guys. And Catherine, we're trying to wrap up. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I thought you said we are wrapping up.